Well, hello and welcome back. So it's time to get this purple stitchery journal finished. So while you were gone, what did I do? Well, I dug out this Dovecraft purple ink and I ran all the way around the edge and then just put a few splodges on it. I added this decoration in that space between that writing that I was trying to keep, and I also ran it around the other side and obviously on the back as well. That's that. I have stuck one side of a jiffy bag envelope to a piece of coffee dyed paper. You can see the little plastic bit poking through there, and this is going to act as my spine. So it's going to be a semi soft spine, and what I intend to do is have the coffee dyed paper on the inside and the envelope on the outside, which means that I'm obviously going to need to cover that, excuse me, and I've decided to cover it with this silk. We've obviously got way too much height, so I'm going to go just to where the pinking shears have put their little V's, and then I'm just going to go across and trim that off and hope that I've done it straight enough that it's going to be long enough. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to put that on there like that. That's lovely. And then we've got an overhang to glue to our balls. Okay, so, and I've decided I am going to use this paper. So let's get rid of all these bits and pieces because we don't need them anymore. We don't need the awl because I've already stamped the holes. Okay, now I decided in the end the signatures were too big, so I've broken them down to be 5 signatures rather than 3. Okay, and then when I put them on my board, they spanned, let me see, yeah, they spanned a good 3 inches. So that is what I've cut this to, 3 inches. Okay, so I've got a piece of paper folded. I mean, I'm sure you know how to do this, but in case we've got any beginners, I'm just going to show you. And these lines match up with these, okay, like that. They match up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our signature. We are going to find a nice bulldog clip to hold the pages together. And obviously I'm not going to do all of these with you because let's start at the back. I think you don't, you know, once you've seen it once, you've seen it. And I'm only doing this one for, you know, newbies that may not have seen it, beginners. So put my clip on. Actually, I'm saying we're finished with the awl. Of course we haven't, have we? Make sure that it's nice and tight, and then I'm going to put this in. I'm going to just double check that the holes are where I want them. Yep, that's pretty perfect. And then literally find the hole and poke my awl through so that it comes out the other side. And that one. 1, 2. Whoops. Now I've moved it. You see, that's what you don't want to do. In an ideal world, really, I should have clipped this in as well. There we go. We've got 3 holes. Okay, take these out because they're semi getting in the way. Get rid of that. Get a needle. We'll take the, I don't know if that's going to be big enough actually. Shall we? Oh, that's definitely too small. Okay, let's try again. What about this lovely one? So pull that out. This is waxed thread. You can get it just about anywhere. 1, 2, 2.5. It's roughly where I want it. Thread my needle. And I must remember we're starting at the back, aren't we? So, no knot obviously because we want the loose thread. So I'm just going to poke my needle through. Then I'm going to find my base and we are going to the back. So in that one there and through. Grab that thread, come through the top hole. Sorry, am I off camera? Do tend to put it close to my face when I do this. So through that top hole and then through that top hole. Don't let your little end disappear. Right, this is where sometimes you have to jiggery pokery. Has there anyone ever put a signature in that you haven't had to jig around at? Oh, see, and then your needle falls out. It's all right. It's all designed to make life a little bit difficult. So we're getting this finalised today. I obviously am not gonna, as I said, I'm not gonna do it all on film because A, it's a bit boring for you to watch again and again and again, and B, I want to obviously get it done. So turn this round, make sure it's exactly where you want it, and then we're going out the bottom again. There we go. And through our spine, and then back through the middle. Make sure we're not losing that one. Right, if you go through your thread, you are never going to be able to pull it tight, so just make sure that you're not through your thread, okay? And back through the centre like that. Okay, put it nice and tight. Make sure it's like guitar strings, that's what you want really. Yeah, I think I did go through that thread. That's why I had trouble pulling it. If you do that, you can generally just pull it out. There you go. And now it'll pull super tight. Make sure that we've got from either side. That's still not as tight as I want it. That's better. And then just obviously knot that up. Now you'll notice that I sewed through the spine and I haven't yet covered it. That's because I want to cover it after it's been stitched, so the stitching is semi-invisible. So there is our first signature in. I'm going to sit here and do the rest, and when I've got all 5 in, I will come back and we'll get it all joined together. So I'll see you very shortly. Okay, so they're all in now. You'll see there's a crossover there and a crossover there. That is because the middle signature is short, which means the holes are so close to the edge that I've tied them at the bottom, so then I'll just give them extra security by tying them there. Okay, so next thing I want to do is actually I'm going to use glue stick, put some glue over all of my holes like that. Okay, I'm now going to glue on fabric. So going right to the edge with this, and then we'll find our spatula and we'll spread that out a bit. So it's quite a chunky monkey, isn't it? I seem to be making a lot of quite chunky journals at the moment. I'm saying like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm making. I don't know why. When I start out making a journal, all I really know is the colourway. Everything else sort of happens organically as I go, if that makes sense. Right, stay. We're going to get a piece of fabric, shake off, oh, don't fall over. Shake off any loose strings that we got. Stand up, you. Thank you. So, try and get it in the centre of the fabric and then just press it down. Then I'm going to turn it over, whack it on the desk and press from this side just to make sure, and then if you go between your signatures, give it a good press there, like that, and that make sure that's all nicely stuck down. Okay, now what we're going to do, now we have got some glue coming through, but I'm going to put lace on it, so I'm not majorly worried about that. Right, we need to lay our signatures down, sorry, our covers. Goodness me, I've got signatures on the brain. Lay our covers down. I'm putting them on my board to try and make sure they're nice and straight. We know we've got a 3-inch spine, so if that's on the half line, we want to be on the half line here. That's 1, 2 and 2 halves. That gives me the 3. That's all soupy doopy. Line that up. Put your signature in the middle. Now I'm hoping that you can see okay, so now I'm going to do double gluing. So I'm going to glue with my glue stick like that, and then I'm also going to put some fabric glue on there I'm going to spread that fabric glue out. Like that. And then we're going to stand this back up, and before we press hard home, we want to make sure that it's where we want it to be, and then we can press it home like that. And then we can lean it that way. Oops, see it moved. Did you see that? You don't want it to move. Double glue again. Obviously the paper glue would not be strong enough to hold a book together. I'm just doing that for like instant adhesion, and that's why we're putting the fabric glue on top. I know some people like to use 3-in-1 or Fabri-Tac. Even matte medium works. Other people will just use, make sure it's where we want it. Yep. Other people will just use PVA. Just depends. Now the one thing you need to make sure, obviously, you don't stick your signature to your cover. So if you've got any excess glue on there, make sure you rub that off. Go back here. That one is basically dry now. Just give that a little minute. It's a bit tacky on there. Look at that. Yeah, it's not properly stuck, so don't move it until it's properly stuck, is my advice to you. Okay, now I'm going to put my messy trays, or messy mats, in the middle. Everything's collapsing, of course. Big Jenga, like so. And then I'm going to give it a good press. Put the messy mats in, because obviously if there is any glue, I don't want it sticking to that mat, to the signatures. And then that's going to need to sit and dry for a couple of hours. Alright, if you really want to, you could go off and do stuff in between. Alright, so there she is. She's sewn together. She is a book, just some finite finishing and then a flip through. As always, I'd like to say a huge thank you for you spending time with me today. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon.